Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you want to see how I created this gorgeous look on my girl, continue to watch. Okay, y'all, so today I got my girl Ashlyn in my chair. She's going to be my model for this video. Um, I'm really excited about this look. I actually did this look a few hours ago, so I'm trying to get this uploaded for you guys. So sorry if it's late. But as you guys know, I always go in with my witch hazel just to clean off the skin. Give it a fresh feel before applying a whole bunch of makeup. So we're going to go ahead and clean off her face with some witch hazel. Yeah, so I mean, I don't have to explain this to you every time, honey, every time. Why am I so excited today? Anyways, I'm going in with the MAC Luxe brow pencil in the shade Mocha, if I'm not mistaken. I've been rocking with these pencils since I got them. Like, I freaking love them. They're easy to use. Something that I didn't show in this video though is that I did apply some matte powder to the brows before going in and carving them out. It just allows me to have more control over the brows when it's a little bit matte instead of wet and sliding all over the place. So if you have trouble with lining out your brows, even with using pomade or a brow pencil, go in with a powder base first, not too much. Then I'm going in with a mixture of the LA Girl Pro Concealer shades Espresso and Fawn. I'm mixing those two, but I'm mostly focusing on the shade Fawn. But I will mix the Espresso when I get to concealing the top of the brows. So nothing new, same old technique. That I do. I go in a few times just to perfect the brows. This was my first time doing her makeup, so I got to get used to it. Sometimes it don't hit me the first time, so I go in a few times just to make sure that the brow is on fleek. Do people say that anymore? Anyways, but yeah, so I go in just to get the brows as fleeky as possible. You guys know I don't conceal the whole brow. I normally just conceal the inner corner of the top brow, just because it reduced time for me. I've never been one that was like fond of the full concealing of the brows, just because it took up so much time for myself, because I noticed I would always mess up the actual brow. So this is a step that I chose not to do because I just hate it. And then I go in with the brow gel from Benefit to just intense those hair-like strokes in her brows. You guys know how I feel when the brows actually look like blocks. Like, you need to see the actual hairs. Then I'm going in with the P. Louise base. This is in the Rumor 4. And I'm applying that with the same brush that I used to conceal her brows. And I am just spreading that product on the eyelids. And I'm going to go in with my TG Supply brush to press that into the actual skin. Leave it to be a little bit tacky, but not dry, because you want the base to be tacky before applying any shadows. So it helps to intensify those shades, because that base is actually holding the color that you're applying to it. Instead of it being dry, you're not going to have that full effect. Okay. So I'm going in and I'm pressing that base into the eyes. Not too hard. You know, you also want to make sure that at any point, if your clients feel like they want to fall asleep, be my guest. You don't want to be too rough. And that happens a lot. Then I'm going to go in. This is the Be Perfect cosmetic palette. You know, the collab that they had with Stacey Marie, which she's another makeup artist in the UK. I love these palettes. Hopefully I have something coming to y'all pretty soon with that, but we're going to go in with that purple shade from that palette. It's very vibrant. It's giving me like when I was born, I knew purple was my favorite color type of feel. You hear me? Purple has always been my favorite color, and this is one of the reasons why I just love how purple look just on any skin color. Now, can I wear purple? I cannot. I'm going off topic. I apologize. Then I'm going in with some orange shade. I feel like the last few tutorials I did was neutral colors on my darker skin tones, or I didn't even do any color at all. So I wanted to show you guys what I'm able to do, and I can do bold. I can do bold if I know that like that person is okay with bold looks. I tend to fall for what I know that they want. But I can definitely spice it up. Like, that's not a question. But I went in with the yellow, and somehow, of course, you know, the orange is going to get lost in the sauce, but we're then going to go back in with that orange. I don't know if you guys peep this, but I am using multiple brushes. You'll see it in my hand. I just keep them in my hand as I go. I can just switch back and forth. I did not use the same brush for different shadows. It's just pointless. If you're going to do that, you might as well just say F it and have a muddy looking eyeshadow. Like, no, we're not doing that. So a big tip in your blending skills when applying eyeshadow is using multiple brushes. I know that might seem annoying because at the end of the day, you're going to have to wash them brushes. But still, in the long run, it's going to make your eyeshadow look better. Then I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base. This is the Blank Canvas. Now, this is not an actual base. This is the collection that they had with Mama Mitchell, the Acid Rain kind, and it's thicker like I mentioned in my previous tutorials. So I'm going in and I'm cutting the crease, and as you guys can see, she does have hooded eyes. And that is partially why I also did not give her a liner, because once she opens her eye completely, that liner would have bent. And I know that there's a trick you can do to make it not look so, you know, like all bent and not straight, but I choose just not to do it at all. Like, you shouldn't have to go through all that just to, you know, get a little wing. And I mean, you could have applied a smaller wing, but I just feel like her eye shape, it wasn't needed. So I'm going in with that base. I do go in with, this is a Wet n Wild brush, and I am taking off all that extra product before starting to apply those shades that I'm going to do here in a second. So I'm going to start over again with the purple, the orange, and the yellow. And you will see here how I do that. But I'm making sure that all that extra product is not on the eyelids, because you don't want it to look cakey and bulky and just not cute. It's not. Just take my advice, sis. It's not. But that's what I started doing for a few minutes. I definitely make sure all that product is gone before starting. Now, here's when I go in with the purple. I start off with the purple on the outer corner, and then I'm going to take the orange and then the yellow. You want to make sure that the purple is blended, but you can always come back to that. You don't want to add too much because you don't want it to start to get patchy, because after a while, applying a lot of shadow, your eyeshadow will get patchy. And the only way to fix that is to apply more base and then add the shade, but then it's just going to be, the colors are going to be off. So I wouldn't recommend that personally. And so I'm just going, you know, to the other eye and making sure that it matches up with the first eye. I'm not taking those color all the way to the inner corner of the eyes because I got something else planned for that. I'm going in with the Juvia's Place palette. This is their nudes palette, the mini palette. I'm applying that right in the cut crease. And I am going to add that because even though when that base dries down, it gives a matte feel to it, but I want more of a matte feel. And also, I want to apply shadow. So when I apply this pigment, it looks more so of like a iridescent field more than just it looking like glitter. Because if you apply like a pigment to a wet base, it's gonna look like a glitter, and that's not what I was going for. I wanted it to look shiny, but not like a glitter. I wanted you to see that it was a pigment that was applying, you know, I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I'd be all over the place when I be trying to explain this to y'all, and I'm sorry. But if you like this video so far, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you not, and comment. Let me know what you think about this look. I really enjoyed filming this with Ashlyn. She's super dope, and she was just, you know, great energy all throughout, and you can see that in my work. I feel like my work shows the best when I have amazing people to do it on. But yeah, it was just it was a vibe. It was definitely a vibe. So yeah, I was right here is when I'm looking to see if I wanted to do a wing liner, but I decided on not doing it because I feel like the eyes were already looking better without the liner. A lot of times I add liner to add that extra, you know, boost, but it wasn't needed. Then I'm going to go in. This is a wipe from Pore. It's not a makeup remover wipe. It's more like cleanser wipes. And I'm just wiping off all that extra product that would have gotten right there, and then just on her face in general. Making sure that there's no extra product before applying a base. We want the base to be as smooth as possible. And before she came, she asked me if she needed to bring her foundation. I said, you can if you want to, but it's not needed. Girl, I think I done changed her life with this drugstore foundation. She's currently using Fenty, but I used Maybelline on her and she loved it. So I'm going in with my Pore moisturizer. This is in, which one is this? This is Rose, I think. Rose, if I'm not mistaken. I could be lying. So I'm going to have everything in the description box. But I'm going in and I am applying that all over her skin. Because it's definitely important what you put on, you know, on your skin before you apply your foundation, your concealer. And I cannot stress this enough. I feel like I stress this a lot in all my videos, that what's underneath the foundation is just as important as what's, you know, on or above your face or whatever. I haven't used this primer in a while. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. This used to be my go-to, but ever since I got Laura Mercier, I've just been feeling a little bit too bougie. But I decided to double back on this primer, and listen, I remember why I loved it. You do have to go in with a beauty blender with this primer, just because normally it works best if you use your fingers to rub it into the skin. But you know, with COVID and stuff, and I just don't think people like, you know, when you rub your hands all on their face. So to be more professional. But if you were to do it on yourself, you can just, it's better to use with a finger application. So I'm going in with two different foundation. This is the 356 Warm Coconut in Maybelline Fit Me, and 340 in Cappuccino. And the reason why I did that, which is not obvious in the video, but she does have a lighter chest. And y'all probably looking like, baby, that ain't her shade, but work with me here. Work with me. Of course, with the Maybelline, it oxidizes. So the shade that you see now is not the shade you're going to get when it's all said and done. Okay. So I've been working with Maybelline for a cool minute, so I know how the shades work for pretty much all my skin tones. I feel like that's why I'm so scared to switch, because I'm so comfortable with the foundation and it works so good for me. So I am going to blend that foundation in. First, I'm using that Real Technique to press it into the skin. Once it's pressed all the way, I'm then going to take my beauty blender, and that allows it to pick up any extra product that I might have that I don't need before setting the face. Because if you start to set the face with extra product, it's just going to look patchy, and every time you put a brush on your face, you're going to be shifting that product everywhere. So I go in with the brush first to spread that product and push it into the skin. And then I take my beauty blender, like I was telling her, just to remove the extra product. Because she asked me what my favorite, like what I like to use when applying foundation. And I said both. For me personally, I go in straight away with the beauty blender. But for my clients, I prefer using the brush than the beauty blender because that reduces time also. Here I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 53N, which is deep. And then I'm going in with e.l.f. Camo Concealer in Deep Chestnut. So I'm doing my little carve outs. I am doing, I wouldn't consider it a new technique because I've been doing it for a while now. But I'm going in all of the areas that I normally highlight: chin, forehead, the tip of the nose, underneath the eyes, just to lift that. And then I am then going to, after applying all those concealers, I'm going to go in with Black Opal foundation sticks. And I'll tell you guys those shades in a second. I'm trying to multitask because I'm behind on posting this video. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Black Opal foundation sticks. And I am taking the shades Ebony Brown and Suede Mocha. First I applied Suede Mocha and I was like, it's a little bit too light. And so then I went in with the darker one. Before I go in with blending everything, I just like to spray the face. I've been doing this. Feels good. I love it. So shout out to the girl that originally told me to do it because I haven't stopped doing it ever since. I'm going in. This is a Real Technique brush. And I am just making sure that I am blending that concealer out, that contour. Now, the thing about contour is you don't want to place the contour below her cheekbone. You want to put it in the middle. So when you blend that out, it looks like you're actually lifting the cheekbones instead of dragging it down. So you have to be very careful of the placement that you apply in the contour because it can either break or make your contour, and understanding how to do that. So then I'm going in with a beauty blender and I am blending out the concealer I want to say in the same format that I go with applying it because I keep the under eyes for last. I want that to have most of the coverage. So the longer you leave your concealer on, you don't want it to dry fully, but the longer you leave your concealer, it gives you a fuller coverage when blending it out because it's going to be, I don't want to say hard because you still want to be able to blend the concealer, but you don't want it to be watery to where that product is just being taken up by the beauty blender. It's at a thicky consistency so you can spread the concealer where you need it and still have that full coverage. You don't want it to have like a sheer finish, okay? I mean, of course, it's hard to tell if it's sheer when you underneath you have that foundation, but you can tell when your concealer is not giving you 100%. And so then I'm going back in with the same brush that I used to apply the foundation just to blend everything together. Y'all, I'm trying to call my dog and they just... Precious, come on. They're outside doing their own thing. So I'm just going back and forth with the beauty blender and that brush to make sure that everything is melting together at this point. We don't want any defined lines between any shades that we've applied on her skin tone. But she already feeling herself. She don't know what she looked like. So I'm going in and I'm just fixing that contour. Now with my darker clients, I personally don't like to do too much deep contour sometimes, or like if I feel like their face is just already naturally shaped beautiful, I don't like to define my contours or just when I'm contouring that hard. I just, if that makes sense, other makeup artists, let me know, because I don't know, it's just there's a preference whenever I'm doing somebody's face. I'll either go really hard on contour or really light. And I went for a natural face, like full glam, but a natural face structure on her. I'm going in with the Madame Glow powder. This guy has to be in like 2 or 1. Hold on, y'all. Come on. Okay, so I'm going in with my translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier Honey Translucent Powder, and I am pressing that into the skin. I want to help skin to look matte, honey. We don't do dewy around here. Dewy is not my cup of tea. I don't want nobody coming asking me for no dewy foundation look, because that's just not my forte, okay? It's not. So I'm just going in and I'm setting all the areas that I highlighted. And the reason why I don't use an actual finishing powder is because when I have that brush, I spread that translucent powder everywhere. Like, I'm pretty much setting the whole face with that translucent powder. I just don't bake it in those areas. And I still don't bake because I don't leave on the translucent powder for too long. But I noticed that if I just drag some of that, and we're not like literally dragging, but if I just, move over a little bit to where it doesn't drag the product or anything, it's allowing all the other areas to be matte without that highlight effect, so I'm going in with that. And then I am taking the shade Mahogany from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is one of their bronzers, and I say bronzer very highly because I didn't want her to be contoured or chiseled. I wanted her to look bronzy, so to add a little bit to her actual natural the shade of the foundation. So not too harsh on the contour, and then that comes back to me not really wanting to contour her face completely. Not too much, okay? And so, yeah, guys, something's in my eye for some reason. And I'm going in with the Saharan palette from Juvia's Place. Now, I love me some blush. I feel like with darker skin tone, they kind of shy away from blush. But, honey, you come to me, that is the part of the package. You get you some blush, okay? You gonna love you some blush. After that, I do the under eye, which I'm not going to show on this one because her eye started to water. But I'll show you guys here in a second. But I'm just taking off all that extra powder. And then, yeah. Yeah, but so I skipped out that part just because. But yeah, so with me, I always use one of those Q-tips just to take off that extra product, or that extra, if the eyes start to water. I'm going in with the setting spray from Morphe, my favorite. And I am just going to use my fan and just let that dry. And then before it's fully dry, you don't want it too wet when you apply your highlight, but it does help to intensify your highlight. Which is the Champagne Dior from, let's see, from Milani. Yep. I remember the name. I was trying to remember the brand, but I'm going in with the Milani Cosmetic highlight. And I'm just highlighting the brow bone, the nose, and I am going to do the inner corner of the eyes as well, and also the Cupid's bow. Yeah, she's so freaking gorgeous. I'm forgetting to talk because I'm staring at the look. I'm getting lost for words because do you see that bass? Got that boom, 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 boom bass. Hey, hey. Yeah. Y'all come take my phone. But I just loved how, oh, this is a lash from AliExpress. I'm not going with a dramatic lash because she already has hooded eyes and I don't want it to take away from the actual look. I want you to be able to see the look without the lash being in its way. So here I'm just sizing it out to see if I need to cut it, which I did. And I don't know why people be just taking lash out and putting it right on. You're supposed to cut the lash to fit your eye shape, honey. Because if your lash is too long, it's going to make your eyes look small. Because then your eyes going to feel, it's going to look like your eyes is trying to hold up a heavy ass lash. But in reality, you just need to cut off a little few of the stems, you know. But yes, look at it. Look, she go, ooh, she was feeling about yo.
Yeah, girl, she tried to. Baby, where's my husband?
Listen, she sneaked a look. She sneaked a look right there. I wanted to show you guys. But I'm going in with Beauty with a Wink lip liner and also their lip gloss in nude. In the nude is a shade of the lip gloss, and then the pencil don't have any name on it, so my apologies, but it's a really dark pencil. I'm going in with those two for her lip, and y'all, that is pretty much the look. Like I said, I wanted to give y'all color without the glitter, and that's what I did. Okay, don't come for me because I didn't send for you, but you can't tell me that I didn't beat her to the gods. You can't. But right here, we're just going in with a little bit of gloss. And then, y'all, we're going in with one of my favorite, which is from Benefit. This is their new setting spray. Love it. Just finish off the look. But, baby, just look when she look. Ooh. But yeah, I use a setting spray like 3 different times. But y'all, that is pretty much the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what y'all want, and I'll give it to y'all. I love you guys. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Comment if you made it this far. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace out, y'all. Peace out.